The dollar seems to be shrinking, but is that really the case?
Here with a closer look at inflation, today's Your Dime sponsor, Wall Street Financial Group. We have Chief Retirement Strategist and Founder Zach Gray, along with Duke Smith, joining us with more information, talking inflation. I'm assuming it's not balloons and bounce houses.
That's my kind of
Yeah, me too, right?
Exactly.
But that's why the
No
experts
helium
are here.
tanks here.
Oh.
Exactly.
Too bad.
Exactly.
Too bad.
Exactly.
So how does this affect us? How does inflation make our lives better or worse as we go year by year?
Well, I think that it just comes down to spending and living the life that we want to live and looking to say, how does that look, not for now, but maybe 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now? And that's what retirement's about, right? We have to get that plan put together so we can better justify what amount of money we're really going to need into our pockets to spend.
Let's really break it down here and define what exactly inflation means. For those people who may be like, what is that again?
Well, I think the best way to go about that is, Heather, what was the first car that you ever drove?
Oh my gosh, it was a Chevy Lumina.
Chevy
The
Lumina.
Lumina. Wow, I forgot about the Lumina.
That is nice.
Man,
You still have that? Do you still have that Lumina? That's a...
fighting the boys off in that
That's
thing.
right. Now, what year was that? Was that
No,
lovely luxury Lumina?
That was probably like 95,
Okay.
96.
So, what do you think a 95 Chevy Lumina would have ran you, brand new, off the
man.
showroom floor?
Well, it was not brand new.
True, but let's imagine.
Let's say like maybe 15,000. I don't know. I don't know cars.
Well, honestly, you're probably right.
Probably
I mean,
pretty close.
it's probably pretty darn close.
Okay.
You probably could have bought that car for 12, 15, maybe 20,000 at the most. Maybe, I'm not also kind of the car buff here, but what I'm saying is that while that'd be a very nice car, I will say that, you can't buy any car for $15,000 anymore, it doesn't
True.
seem like, right? I just went and bought a golf cart for my little girls to take rides with at the home place, and them things are $5,000 to $10,000. My point here is nonetheless to say, if we went to the Chevy dealership and they don't have Luminas anymore, I don't think
That's why it would be priceless.
that's
now,
probably why it's
okay?
a collector's item.
Nor do they have
Yes.
8-track players. Which might have been that.
Hopefully we're more to the cassette tapes by then.
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
But
Yes, it did have a cassette. Okay.
exactly. That being said, though, where I'm going with this is that you start to think about the new car price back then, or it doesn't matter anything that we were talking about. What's that buying power of our dollar, right? And what's that look like as we scoot a few more years down the road and we look to say, okay, now that we're a few years from 95 and we look to be here in 2019, to go buy a brand new vehicle going to be costing more. And it's just going to be that same way with lifestyle.
So inflation in and of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you're planning, you can't say the $3,000 or $5,000 a month or whatever it is that I need now is going to be what I need in 20 or 30 years.
Exactly. And when we start to kind of build some of those plans, and Duke, you might want to touch on that, it's really important to start to look back to say, to your point, what is it going to be for me to have maybe $5,000 a month now? How does that look years and years down the line? Duke, you want to chime in with that?
Yeah, when we think about historical inflation, it does average somewhere around a 3% number. So the old saying goes, if we're not getting 3% on our money, we're not even keeping up with inflation. So that's something that we have to take into consideration when we are planning for our retirement.
Is the primary concern that we're looking at the housing market, what it's going to take to find a place to live, or are we really taking an average of that plus vehicles, plus food, health insurance, etc.?
What we're really typically doing is asking folks, what does it really take for that money in your wallet or your purse? I mean, that real spendable cash. What's it going to take to make the wheels turn down the track? What's it going to take for you to live your life? No matter housing, or maybe that's updating the cars, or maybe that's taking the grandkids on trips. It's making sure that your golden years are truly those golden years and making the most of it. But once again, we have to make sure that that money's going to last, and we have to make sure that we can, afford those things into the future with inflation the way that
What
it
if we
is.
only want bronze years? Is there a way we can sort of dial it back a little and just...
Well, I wouldn't suggest that, but if you want to go for the bronze or silver, that's just fine.
Trying to be creative.
Yeah.
We have a graph I quickly want to mention, and it kind of explains what exactly. What are we looking at?
This, once again, is just a graph of what inflation has looked like over the last several years. And if we average out all of those numbers, it does run just north of a 3%.
Got it. Those
Okay, back
red
to
years look a little rough.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, a little
But
bit
then there's
of depression
some
in
green
there.
that looks really, really great. So
Yeah.
the average comes out all right.
You have to keep in mind that it's not necessarily maybe a good or a bad. We have to just be looking at, once again, what do we need to be planning for to make sure that we can live the lives that we want to live. And, you know, I know it goes without saying, but every time that I go to the grocery store, it seems like things are a little bit more expensive, or many times just getting, you know, fuel into the car or whatever that case might be. And so we just have to make sure that we're planning for that long term. So many people focus on the here and now, and they say, well, hey, it's going to take this much money, and I have that coming from maybe Social Security or a pension. And if they don't have cost of living adjustments to things like that pension, or if that's maybe a little bit low when it comes to something like Social Security, of which it is, we have to start to plan for, okay, how are we going to make up for that, and how are we going to make sure that, back to the Lumina example, that, you know, we plan for what that cost really is going to be several years down the line.
Got it.
Great tips. It's
Thank you,
Duke
guys.
Smith and Zach Gray with Wall Street Financial Group, and we'll connect you. There's a look. Oh, I thought we had their website, but we will. There it is. And we will connect you to the retirement roadmap and everything you need to know about inflation and how to save your dime at CILiving.tv.